Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first episode of Deerman! Alright everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. So happy to have you here. This is the very first episode of Deerman. Thank you for your support. Please like and share this. Click on our links and continue to donate. I hope you enjoy it. This is the very first chapter of Deerman. It's called Deer Crossing. I was sleepy. I was a little drunk too, but it was the backwoods and an hour after last call. Nobody was on the road anyways. Maybe I had a little too much to drink, but I could have driven home with my eyes closed if it came to it. Had to keep them open though. Deer crossing. You know the bubbling from your can of Bud Light after you open it? I could hear it as I drove, even above the blasting Hank Williams la-di-da on the radio. I swear, man, I've got beer sense. I grabbed it out of the cup holder and took a swig. It's no big deal. Down here, everyone drinks and drives. It was light beer for a reason. Wasn't until 2000 they legalized it anyways. I like the way things used to be. Too many nanny state crybabies wanting the government to check out how flame retardant their diapers are. Must have taken too much of a swig because before I knew it, I was swerving off the road and a full fucking deer's head, antlers and all, was staring me in the face. Its eyes were bloody and crazy, and it was grunting and screaming, and I could feel one of its antlers get lodged in my brain as I saw ticks falling off its face before everything went blank. I don't know how long I was on the table for, but my head was strapped down, so I couldn't look at my own body. When you're hungover, and you've got an antler stuck in your forehead, and your head strapped down, you start to feel disconnected, like your eyes are the only part of your body that are real. Your eyes and your mind. That makes a lick of sense. I don't know, but that's how it feels. Yes! Yes, he's perfect! Perfect, he's perfect! It took a while for the blur to focus, but staring down at me was a bald, clammy, pea-eyed guy with thick glasses and a white, paper-thin mustache. Look at you! Look at you! He grabbed my arm. I couldn't see it, but I could feel it plop back down on the cold steel table. You're perfect! He held up a bloody scalpel. Just one last bicep and my mashup is complete, he said. I could feel him cram something squishy into my arm and needle go in and out of skin as he stitched me up. All done! My eyes closed for what seemed like a second, but it had to be longer. I was no longer bound to the table by the time I opened them again. I sat up. My body felt different. My body felt weird. I was itchy all over and I felt leaner. I brought my hands up to my face. They were hooves. Cloven hooves. What am I? What have you done? You! He swiveled his rolling stool around to me. You are a deer, man, deer. You crashed right outside my laboratory. I'm a lover of life and... He stood up. A pacifist. I couldn't let you both die, but I could only save one. He swiveled around to the other side of the steel table. That's when the idea struck, my dear man. Your brain could be saved, but your body... your body was mangled beyond repair. Broken bones and what have you. It'd be years to get you back on track. Luckily for you, the deer was in pretty good shape, but its brain was out. No good. Total crap. So I decided to mash you two together. That way you may both have life. He stood up and laughed at the ceiling. They will give me prizes for this. They will. But it wasn't merely a brain-swapping operation. No. That's been done. It has been. Don't you read the paper? He threw a San Antonio Express at me. Dr. Bolognanon has beaten me to that. But that Neanderthal could only keep the brain-swapped specimen alive long enough to gloat on me on Snapchat. After that, his man-cat purred its last purr and died. It should have been expected. Now he's seen as a hack, a mad scientist, a total failure. Me, on the other hand, I am the true genius of my time. What is the use of a cat brain in a man's body? A cat brain is stupid, a man's body is stupid, but a deer's body with a man brain, one can only imagine the possibilities. He paused and sat back down on a swivel stool. So what's your deal? How do you feel? I stood up. Already bipedal. I couldn't have guessed that! Let me grab my phone. Dr. Balagnanon will shit his pants! I turned around a little bit and fell to my hands. Front legs, I mean. I kicked my hind legs in the air, one hoof for each eye. The hooves went right through his glasses, right through his eye sockets, and right out the back of his head. It took some wiggling, but I freed my hooves from his skull. I tried to grab his phone to call 911. I admit, it contradicts the placard on my house that says, "This house don't call 911," but I didn't have my gun on me. It was in my truck. But just as good as hooves are with the phone, they'd probably do just as well with a gun. That's to say, I cracked the damn screen. My wife. I had to get back to my wife. She was home alone, probably worried that I got into some kind of freak accident. She knew my proclivity for drinking a few on the road to sober myself up. I had to let her know I was okay. I hopped or galloped or did whatever the fuck it is deers do over the dead body of the eyeless scientist and left. I didn't recognize the road, but I was always one for getting around with my sense of direction. But I could also feel my antlers tingling something crazy. It was confusing my man brain. The deer body was going to be something to get used to. I followed, by instinct, the direction of the tingles. It led me straight to my own damn driveway. Brenda would be pissed. But look whose goddamn car was in the driveway. My own goddamn boss down at the Deerhead Mountain facility, Earl. I peered through the windows and started tapping with my hoof. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. His head swiveled around to see me, a deer. He walked out of the house looking around all guilty-like, zipping up his pants. I couldn't help it. I charged at him and nearly tore his dick off. But he was quick. Too quick for my deer body and my man brain. He jumped into his car and sped off. I got a few dents and scratches on the door, but that's about all I could get without ripping one of my own antlers off. I was still getting used to this body anyway. I looked at Brenda, who looked back at me. She didn't recognize me, but she stared like we had some kind of connection. She was sobbing. Maybe Earl was just providing some comfort. Who the hell knows how long I was gone for? I was ugly. I had ticks all over me, and I smelled like blood and creek water. Brenda came back with a broom. I wish she would have come back with my gun, put me out of my misery. Get out of here, you weird-looking disease shit for brain! The last part hurt, because that was the last part of me that she might actually recognize. Maybe she only loved my body. That was long gone. I turned around towards the forest. I need a doe. A deer. A female deer. Alright, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to Deerman. I'd like to thank a few people. I'd like to thank the Grassy Knoll for providing this theme music. It's so wonderful, it's perfect for the podcast. I'd like to thank Jack Arambula, who made the cover illustration for this month's episode. I'd like to thank all of you, all of the patrons who have supported this and pledged monthly. And if you haven't supported, that's okay. You can do it many ways. You can go to patreon.com/ahilbert. Pledge $1 a month. That gets you early access to the text. Pledge $2 a month. You get early access to the art and the text. $3 early access to the art, text, and this audio file. $5, $10, $25. It all gets better and better as you keep going. However, if you don't want to pledge monthly, that's fine. I get it. I understand. I'm just happy that you're listening. If you have something to buy on Amazon, please click our Amazon link in the description. Doesn't add anything to your cost, just gives me a sweet, sweet kickback. So next time you need toilet paper delivered straight to your door, think of me. Think of me, Andrew Hilbert, in Deerman. What would he do? Well, he would go on Amazon through our link, and he'd type it in, blah, 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 whatever he wants, and we get a sweet kickback and help support this show. You can buy my books on Amazon.com, preferably through our Amazon link, but any way you want. My latest book is Invasion of the Weirdos, published by Perpetual Motion Machine Publishing. You can find that on Amazon. Thank you so much for being here. I look forward to continuing to do this. Next month will be Chapter 2 of Deerman. And if there's more and more support, I might do this twice a month. I might do this 3 times a month. It just depends. But regardless, it's going to keep going at least once a month until the story's finished. And at that point, we'll go to the very next story. It's been a fun time. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoy it. Thanks a lot.